finished. It's all quilted. It's bound. Let me just kind of show you what I did here. I put the flowers on the border and the leaves on the inner border, and then I did feathering all around all of these in the squares, the small squares. I just did an orange peel all the way around that, which kind of forms a flower right here in the center. There's a big flower in the middle. I just started with a circle and then just kept building around it and around and around until I got it pretty big, and then I put a leaf in each one of the four corners. It's kind of hard to see in that print, especially with the shadows. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I didn't want to get real finicky with custom quilting, but I wanted it to be pretty and be a little bit different than just an all over meander or something like that. So there it is. It's a nice large size throw quilt to go on a couch or a recliner. You could even put it over a twin size bed, but it wouldn't be long enough. But if you just wanted to put it as a coverlet, that would be fine too. The backing, of course, is this fuchsia looking color here. This was a piece of fabric that someone donated to our quilting group, and I snatched it up. Thought it was really cute, and I used a matching color of thread on the backing, and then I used a very light celery green on the front, which in this sort of off-white background fabric, it didn't really show up as green at all. So that was good, and the rest of them just blended in. So that is it on the Jewel Box quilt. I think if I ever make another one of these, I will make my my diamonds and my squares smaller. But I was just following a pattern that I found, and it does make it go faster that way, but you can't see the quilting on the back too well, but you can see it. That's what I was kind of going for, just the texture and not showing the thread off. Here you can see the flower and the big diamond right there on the back. So that is it for this one. Anyway, this was a lot of fun, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing the finished product. Well, after I finished my quilt that I had on the long arm, the Jewel Box quilt, I decided to pull out another one of my WIPs, works in progress, and finish that up. So this is a flower basket quilt that I started some months ago out of my 12-inch pre-cut scrap bin, and I had 8 of these made. These are 12-inch blocks, and I need 4 more. So the rest of my blocks were in various stages. And the reason that I stopped working on this was because I ran out of this fabric that I had gotten at Hobby Lobby, and I couldn't find any more, and I kept checking and checking and checking and could not find any more. But I found this just the other day. It's very similar, especially for the tone, and it has the little it has little paisleys in it, and this one has little leaves in it. But anyway, I'm going to finish it up, the ones that I still needed, with this. So let me work on this for a little bit, and then I'll show you how it comes out. Okay, right now I am just stitching the rest of these. I've cut out enough to finish making all of my little half square triangle units. So now I'm just working on attaching those all together before I can put the flower baskets together. Alright, so these are stitched together in rows like this, or at least that's the way I'm doing them. And then I'll show you how I'm putting the rest of it together. So I'm just working on, I've got all of those put together, and I'm working on this next 2 rows. And I'm just laying them out like the pictures show you to do, and then I'm stitching them together. And as I get them done, I'm just pressing them the way they need to go, and then laying them back down in the spot where they need to be so that I don't mess up. It goes right there. This is an 18-inch design board that I made. It's perfect for laying out your 12-inch blocks on, because you've got plenty of room on it to manipulate everything. Okay, so let's see, this one can come off. I'm just chain piecing these. Let's see. Now, before I take that one off, I'm going to go to the next row, and I'll start piecing these together. Now you can find flower basket patterns all over the internet, all over YouTube. Mine I cut from Quilt, of course, because I have that pattern in my Quilt book, and all of these can be cut out with my Quilt cutter, so super easy to do it that way, for me anyway. Like I said, you can find free patterns and free measurements and all of that for any size of this that you would like to make, I'm sure. Okay, down goes there. There. Okay, now I'm ready to start attaching this last one to this top one. Now, the only problem with this big design board is it's hard to find a big enough place to sometimes to put it on your machine or next to your machine. Let me get that one off, because it only has 2 parts to it. Try to make sure I press them all the same direction. And speaking of design boards, you can also fit, I make my own design boards, but you can also fit a 12-inch block onto a 15-inch design board, which is what I make the most of. And sometimes this one is made with batting, kind of a thin batting, and then just decorative duct tape. That's what I make all of mine with, decorative duct tape. But sometimes I'll just use a piece of flannel on here, and it works just as well, in my opinion. All right, let me get this last bit pressed and put over here, and then I'll show you how I'm going to put this block together. Okay, I have olive. There's my one that has 3 blocks, 2.5 blocks, and 1.5 blocks. Now then, I can put these 3 rows together, and then this goes there, and then this goes there, like this, and then this is the last thing to go on. See how that's going to work. I'm going to go back now and put this one on the row that I just finished. Now, one thing I forgot to say was I'm sewing mine across this way, but you could sew them this way. I've seen people do that too. It winds up having the same effect. So whichever way you're more comfortable with is perfect. Okay, 2 more to go. Now then, now these have to be stitched on, well, wait a minute. These have to be stitched on next. This bottom, and these are the large half square triangles. These are the small half square triangles from my cube set, 12-inch cube set. And these little flat corners should match up perfectly. Alright, let me get these pressed, and then we'll lay them back down and start working on those. Alright, there's our middle part of our basket. We'll put these on, all of one side, and then we'll put them on the other side. Go ahead and take these off and press them before I do the other side. I only have 4 more blocks to do. That's the nice thing about working on WIPs, because part of it's already done for you. Get tired of working on it, you can put it away and call it a WIP. Come back to it later. But I'm planning on finishing this one this time. Alright, now we just have to put this bottom piece on. And I'll have 12 blocks done, and then I'll have to decide how I'm going to put my quilt top together. Now the thing about the Aki quilt, it has those little square ends on it, so it makes it easier to line up with something like this. But you might want to go ahead and just put a little indent in the center of this, and then line it up with this little point where they come together. Okay, have all 12 of my blocks completed. Now I think I'm going to go online and see if I can figure out how I want to set these up in my quilt. Like I say, you could use sashing. You could make this a big square and a square if you wanted your blocks your baskets to go straight up and down instead of angling over to one side, which I think that's what I'm wanting to do. I've done it before with smaller baskets. I just don't know how big it's going to make my quilt if I do that, since these are 12-inch blocks already. So let me go do some research online, and then I'll come back and let you know what I decided, but I'm really leaning towards having my baskets straight up and down.